Awareness is enough. God does not need dramatic endings to confirm divine beginnings. He simply needs obedience to continue. Carry this truth with you as you move forward. Everything God allowed served a purpose. Every delay taught discernment. Every battle built endurance. Every quiet season shaped character. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing escaped God's attention. Now walk with humility, but not hesitation. With confidence, but not pride. With faith, but not force. Let your life speak gently but clearly. Let your actions echo what your prayers declared. Let your journey remind others that God is faithful even when the process is slow. This is the season where fruit becomes visible, not rushed, not forced, but natural. What God planted deeply will now grow steadily. And as it grows, it will not glorify you, it will point back to Him. That is the highest honor of all. So as this final part settles into your spirit, receive this last confirmation. You are aligned. You are covered. You are entrusted. And you are ready to live what was prepared for you long before you ever knew to ask. This is not an ending. This is continuation with clarity. This is faith lived, not just believed. Now this is the closing movement, not of a message, but of a transformation. What began as protection has become purpose, what began as survival has become stewardship, and what began as faith under pressure has matured into faith with authority. This is where everything settles into place, not because life becomes effortless, but because you have become established. God was not rushing to finish this work, because what He was building needed to last. You are no longer asking who you are or where you belong. That question has already been answered in the process. You belong to God, and you walk under His covering. The uncertainty that once followed you has lost its grip, because identity has replaced insecurity. When identity is clear, direction follows naturally. You do not chase purpose anymore, you recognize it as you walk. Archangel Michael's role around your life now stands as a testimony rather than a warning. The battles that required defense are behind you, not because the enemy disappeared, but because your position changed. You learned how to stand, how to listen, how to wait, and how to move only when led. That wisdom cannot be taken from you. It is carried, not borrowed. From here forward, your faith will express itself through consistency. You will choose integrity even when compromise would be easier. You will choose patience even when speed is available. You will choose obedience even when recognition is delayed. These choices will quietly protect everything God has entrusted to you. Heaven watches these moments closely, because this is where trust is proven. You will also notice that your prayers sound different now. They are not desperate, they are deliberate. Not fearful, but focused. You no longer pray to convince God, you pray to align with Him. This is maturity. This is partnership. This is how heaven and earth move together through a willing life. As this chapter closes, do not feel pressure to mark it with emotion. Peace is enough. Gratitude is. Be careful here. Do not try to carry people God did not assign to you. Compassion does not mean control. Love does not mean rescue. Pray, but do not replace God in someone else's process. Even Michael fights only when commanded. Learn that discipline. It will protect your peace. God will begin to trust you with truth. Not truth that entertains, but truth that corrects. And correction requires humility. You will have moments where God shows you things about yourself that still need alignment. Do not resist this. Refinement is proof of relationship. God only corrects what He intends to keep. You will also notice that blessings come with responsibility attached. Favor will require wisdom. Open doors will require restraint. Opportunity will require discernment. This is why prayer cannot become optional now. Prayer is no longer your emergency line. It is your daily posture. The enemy may attempt one last strategy in this phase, subtle pride. Not arrogance, but self-reliance. The quiet thought that says, I know how to handle this now. Catch that thought early. Gratitude keeps you dependent on God. Dependence keeps you protected. Stay close to God in moments of success the same way you stayed close in moments of struggle. Many people lose alignment not in storms, but in calm. Remember who sustained you when you had nothing to offer but faith. Let that memory keep your heart soft. Your life is becoming a testimony without words. People will watch how you respond to pressure, how you handle favor, how you treat people who cannot benefit you. This is where character speaks louder than calling. Heaven protects character more fiercely than gifting. Archangel Michael's continued presence around your life is evidence that what you carry affects more than just you. Your obedience will outlive this season. Your faith will echo beyond your own life. You may never see the full reach of it, but heaven will. Do not rush to define the future. Walk with God day by day. Destiny unfolds. Now this part goes deeper than everything before it, because this is not about battle, breakthrough, or protection anymore. This is about legacy. This is about how a life aligned with God begins to shape the atmosphere around it. Up to now, heaven was working mainly for you. From this point forward, heaven will begin to work through you. And that shift is subtle, but it is sacred. You will notice that your sensitivity to God increases. Things you once ignored will now trouble your spirit. Things you once chased will no longer excite you. And things you once feared will no longer control you. This is not loss. This is refinement. God is narrowing your focus because what you carry now requires precision. Archangel Michael stands watch over people in this phase not because they are in danger, but because they are becoming influential in the spiritual realm. Influence does not always look like leadership. Sometimes it looks like consistency. Sometimes it looks like quiet obedience when no one is watching. Sometimes it looks like choosing integrity when compromise would be easier. Heaven values what is done in secret more than what is celebrated in public. That is why this season feels quieter. God is protecting you from distraction so your roots can grow deeper. There will be moments where you feel misunderstood again, but this time it will not wound you the same way. You will recognize that not everyone is meant to understand your journey. Some people are meant to benefit from it later, not walk with you through it now. Release the need to be validated. Validation from heaven is enough. You may also feel a growing responsibility for others. You will sense when someone needs prayer without them saying a word. You will feel burdened for people you never noticed before. This is not emotional sensitivity. Now let go of the last traces of fear. Fear served its purpose by pushing you to God, but it cannot follow you forward. Let go of comparison, because your assignment was never meant to look like someone else's. Let go of the need to explain yourself, because heaven already approved you. From this point onward, obedience will feel more natural than resistance. Prayer will feel more like conversation than struggle. Faith will feel more like confidence than hope. This is not because you changed God, but because God changed you. Archangel Michael's presence around your life now stands as a witness, not a warning. A witness that the battle was real, the protection was intentional, and the outcome was decided long before you ever saw it. Heaven does not guard what has no future. Heaven invests where destiny carries weight. So move forward now with awareness. Speak carefully. Choose wisely. Stay humble. Stay grateful. Stay connected. The next season will reward consistency more than intensity. Quiet obedience will do more than loud declarations. Faithfulness will open doors faster than force ever could. And when blessings come, remember the process. When peace arrives, remember the pressure. When clarity settles in, remember the confusion. Not to relive it, but to honor how far God brought you. Gratitude will keep you grounded where success could have made you drift. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment your story becomes useful to others. Your journey will strengthen someone else's faith. Your testimony will restore someone else's hope. Your obedience will point someone else back to God. Now receive this final truth and carry it with you. You were never late. You were never forgotten. You were never unprotected. Every step was ordered. Every delay was intentional. Every battle was filtered. And every victory was secured before you ever knew you needed it. Walk forward now. Heaven is with you. God is ahead of you. Archangel Michael has done his work and double you. Now stay with me, because this moment is sacred. This is not a pause, this is not a transition, this is a continuation of everything God has been building inside you. From the first battle you didn't understand, to the silence that tested your patience, to the protection you never saw but always felt, it has all led here. This is where awareness turns into alignment and alignment turns into activation. Heaven is not asking you to admire this journey anymore. Heaven is asking you to walk fully in it. There was a time you questioned whether God was really with you, because the pain felt too personal, the delays felt too long, and the answers felt too quiet. But now you can see clearly that what felt like abandonment was actually preparation. Archangel Michael was never sent to make your life dramatic, he was sent to make your destiny secure. Every unseen battle, every blocked door, every sudden change was not random. It was coordinated protection. Right now, something is shifting inside you. You are no longer desperate for signs because you recognize God's voice. You are no longer afraid of silence because you understand timing. You are no longer shaken by opposition because you know who stands with you. This is what happens when faith matures. It stops demanding proof and starts walking in trust. Heaven is responding to your posture, not your perfection. The enemy no longer fights you the same way because access has been restricted. What once drained you will now expose weakness in others. What once confused you will now become clarity for someone else. This is how God redeems the process. He never wastes pain. He transforms it into purpose. Understand this deeply now. God did not protect you just to keep you safe. He protected you to make you effective. The authority being released in your life now is not loud, but it is lasting. You will notice that your words carry weight, your decisions carry peace, and your presence carries calm. That is not personality. That is. This is the moment where heaven seals what it started. Not with noise, not with fear, not with urgency, but with certainty. What God has completed in you cannot be reversed by what stands around you. Archangel Michael's assignment was never only about protection in battle, it was about guarding the transition from who you were into who you are becoming. And now that transition is complete. You may not feel dramatically different, but you are undeniably stronger. Your faith is quieter, but deeper. Your confidence is calmer, but firmer. You no longer need constant signs to believe, because experience has taught you that God is faithful even when unseen. This is maturity. This is sealing. This is the moment when heaven says, "You are ready." From this point forward, your life will begin to speak for itself. Not everything will need explanation. Not every decision will need defense. God will confirm you through peace, through fruit, through alignment. The enemy will still observe, but he will no longer intimidate. He knows now what you know, that access has been removed. Michael does not leave when destiny activates. He shifts position. What once guarded you from behind now walks ahead of you. What once blocked attacks now opens paths. What once fought for survival now supports influence. This is why your prayers will feel different. This is why your discernment will be sharper. This is why your choices will feel clearer. Heaven has established authority within you. Do not rush this next season. Let it unfold. Let God lead. Let wisdom pace you. Speed is no longer required because stability has been formed. What is meant for you will recognize you without chasing. What belongs in your life will stay without force. What is not aligned will fall away without struggle. Remember this always. The strongest angel was assigned not because you were weak, but because what God placed inside you carries weight. Heaven protects what carries impact. And now that impact will begin to tee. Do not underestimate the power of consistency in this season. Small obediences will unlock big outcomes. Quiet faith will move loud obstacles. Staying faithful when it feels ordinary will protect you from falling when things become extraordinary. Michael does not just fight sudden wars, he guards long journeys. There may still be moments of resistance, but they will no longer control you. They will remind you how far you have come. Fear may knock, but it will not enter. Doubt may whisper, but it will not decide. You have learned how to stand, and that knowledge cannot be taken from you. Now receive this final truth for this part of your journey. God did not protect you just to preserve you, He protected you to position you. What you carry is meant to bless others, to bring clarity, to restore hope, to point back to God. And the same heaven that guarded your process will back your obedience going forward. So walk carefully, but confidently. Speak truth, but with love. Move forward, but in prayer. Archangel Michael is still assigned, not because you are in danger, but because what you are stepping into matters. Heaven does not invest